Okay, so let's look at how to install Kali into VirtualBox, which is how we're going to be using it in this class. So here I am. I'm on the Kali page. And we'll take a look. There's the download link. I'm not going to go through the download. I assume you know how to download things. But what I did want to show, I just briefly want to talk about this SHA-1 sum. So this is basically just a way of checking to verify that what you downloaded was not changed. Okay, and there's a couple of reasons for doing that. I mean, one is a sort of error checking, and another is a security issue, right? You want to make sure that when what you've downloaded hasn't been modified, perhaps by a hacker or perhaps the government on the other side. Now, one note about this, I mean, realistically, if we really wanted to, if we were really ultra paranoid about things, we would probably want to access the Kali web page from a number of different networks, perhaps even in other countries, using something like a VPN, perhaps using something like Tor, just to verify that the SHA-1 sum hasn't been changed, to avoid a man-in-the-middle attack. Of course, one of the things that this wouldn't prevent is someone who has actually compromised the Kali download page itself, and then they can do whatever they want. But nevertheless, so just to show you how to use this, so I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come over here to where I've downloaded it. I've also downloaded this utility here. Notice MD5 and SHA checksum utility. As you can Google it, you'll be able to find the download link for this. And so when I run this, basically I'll just go ahead and select the ISO file that is the Kali Linux download. Okay, and it'll start computing all of that. Now, what's nice about this is that I can paste in that value here and do a verify, and then that will basically tell. Yep, not quite. There we go. Okay, there. Now it will tell me. Yes, see, notice the SHA-1 hash matched. Okay, so that means we're good to go. The copy that we've downloaded does at least match what's on the web page. Okay, so that's a good thing. All right. So now that we've done that, okay, I have a VirtualBox here installed. Again, I assume you can download this and install that on your machine. So we're going to create a brand new machine. Okay, so I'll call it, I'm going to call mine. As you can see, I have a number of Kali images here. So this one I'm going to call Kali Demo. Typically, I call my main usable one Kali. The type here is, of course, Linux. And basically, we're going to go and select, it's a Debian-based distribution, and it's a 64-bit version. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we'll go ahead and click Next. Okay, memory, obviously, the amount of RAM is important in terms of how a computer runs. So you can see the minimum recommended amount of RAM is 1 gig. I'm actually going to bump this up a little bit, just to give me a little bit of room. As you can see, my machine here actually has a fairly decent amount of RAM with 16 gigs of RAM. So I'm gonna allocate 2 gigs for that, and we'll click Next. Okay, now we're gonna create the hard drive for our virtual machine. Okay, the Kali machine itself. Okay, so you'll notice we do want to create a virtual hard disk, and I'll go ahead and click Create. We're gonna use the VDI disk image. And we are going to leave dynamically allocated. What's nice about that is while we're going to say that we're going to use 40 gigs of space, initially it's not going to be totally the 40 gigs worth of space. Okay, so there it basically says, okay, what's the name of this image? You have the opportunity, if you wanted to change it to a different location, different drive, etc. You could go to here and do that. As I said, to sort of give us plenty of room for installing all the stuff for Kali, we're going to go with 40 gigs. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click Create for that. All right, so now what I have basically is a machine. Right here it is, Kali demo, and I'm going to go ahead and click settings. Okay, so we can take a look at some of these things. Right, and so you can see these various parts here. I just want to go to system to kind of double check stuff. So we don't really care about a floppy disk in our system, so I'm going to sort of turn that off. In terms of processors, most modern processors have multiple cores, so I'm actually going to allocate at least 2 cores for my virtual machine, and I'll also turn on the PAE NX options as well. There's some stuff on acceleration and all that. I'm just going to leave that. So we have those things. Of course, you have issues of display and so forth. So if you want to kind of bump up the amount of display memory, you can certainly do that as well. So you can see I've done that, and let me go ahead and click OK. All right. So what we now have created is sort of the equivalent, the virtual equivalent of a brand new machine that has an empty hard drive. Okay, so what we need to do is for that brand new machine, we need to insert the installation media, if you will, the installation DVD. Okay, so again, I'm going to come back over to settings, and I'm going to go to storage. Right, and right here where it says controller ID and this one that says empty, okay, I'm just going to delete that, like so. And then we're going to basically add a disk back in, right? So we go in, add the optical drive, and this time I'm going to say I do want to choose the disk. Okay, so here you can see I was already in my downloads folder, and it is picking up the only ISO file that I have here, namely the downloaded Kali Linux ISO, and that's what we want. Okay, so I select that. The other thing I'm just going to do, notice I'm just going to click on this again, and I'll check the box that says it's a live CD/DVD. Okay, so we do that, and then Kali basically knows, yeah, it's actually a live DVD. All right, so we'll click OK. Having done that, we are ready to do our first power on of our brand new virtual machine. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and click Start. Okay, so from here, we're going to scroll down to do the graphical install. And now we're going to kind of follow through the various prompts and so forth, right? So generally I'm using English, so that's sort of the that is the setup that we're going to use there. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. Yes, I am in the United States, so again I'm going to click continue. I want to use American English. Yeah, that's fine too. Okay. Notice it's detecting some of the various things. Okay, then we get to the host name. You can leave the name of this machine as Kali. You can change it if you really want to, but for the most part, leaving it as Kali, that should work just fine. All right. The domain name, most of the time you can pretty much leave this blank and you're not going to have an issue. Okay. Again, so there are some times where, depending on your network setup, you might have to actually make a change here. All right. But I'm just going to leave it blank. Okay. Now, very importantly, it's going to ask you to create a password for the root user. Okay. So create a password. Just please make sure to remember it. All right. Otherwise you're going to end up kind of going back through all this stuff again, reinstalling. Okay. So create whatever password you want. And then of course re-enter it, and then we'll go ahead and click continue. Okay, now in terms of the clock, so I happen to be in the Eastern time zone, so I will certainly pick that. Okay, now for the disk partitioning. Okay, so we're going to use guided, and we're just going to go with this the first option here of using the entire disk. Okay, so go ahead with that, and of course it finds that there's the 40 gig virtual hard drive that we had set up in the initial step. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll click continue for that. You see there are a number of options. We're just going to use the easiest one, the all files in one partition. Okay, so again, go ahead and click continue for that. You'll notice it says, okay, here's how we're going to set this up. Again, make sure that finish partitioning, write changes to disk is highlighted. That's fine. And then again here, write the changes to the disk. Sure, and away it goes. Okay, so now it's installing most of the files. This is going to take a little bit. I'll kind of pause the video here so that you don't have to watch all of this install. As soon as we get back to something else, the video will kind of pick back up again. Okay, so now in terms of the notice the package manager. Yes, we will use a network mirror. Proxy information, most of the time you don't need this, but again, depending on your network configuration, you might. Okay, now in terms of the grub loader, yes, we do in fact want to install that. All right, and then just make sure to select your hard drive here, like so. And installation is complete. Okay, so you can see, yes, it goes through time to boot into the new system. Make sure to remove the installation media. Okay, so up here in devices, what we're going to do is we're just going to come up to optical drives, and I'm just going to click this little check there so we can verify. Notice that's unchecked, so that's the equivalent of ejecting that DVD from the virtual drive. Okay, so we're back after the reboot. Go ahead and log into to Kali. So the username is root, and then the password is whatever you set the password to be earlier in the install process. Okay. So now that we're in Kali, we need to continue to do some update work here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to come over and run the terminal. Okay, so let me make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. Now there are a few commands. So if you're watching this in my class, you'll be able to see this within Canvas. If you're watching this online, I'll have this in the show notes. Okay, so we're going to do a few different commands to upgrade the system. Okay, so in Kali, we will use the apt package manager, and so to install we use apt-get. And first of all, we're going to do an apt-get update. Okay, so what this does is it contacts the software servers to find out the latest versions of the Kali software. Okay, so you'll see it'll kind of run through a bunch of things like so, and now we're ready to actually apply those updates. Right, so I'll do apt-get update, and we'll do upgrade. Okay, and as you can see, there's quite a list of things here. Okay, so right now you can see that the Y is capitalized. That means if I just hit enter, we accept that, or you can go ahead and type Y. And now it will actually go through the install, okay? Depending on the speed of your network connection and your disk drive and things like that, this will probably take a little while. Usually, honestly, it takes, I've seen it take about a half an hour or so. Okay, so again, I'm not going to have you sort of watch that whole thing on the video. I'll pause the video, the recording here, and we'll kind of come back when something else happens. Here you can just go ahead and click Q to quit that notification. In this case, I'm just going to actually select no for that. Okay, so if we get getting this error here, that's fine. We'll just all right. So I'll hit Tab to select OK, and just go ahead and run that. Okay, so once that is complete, then we'll do one more command. That is the apt-get dist-upgrade. Okay, so again, come back over to here. apt-get dist-upgrade. And the way I got it to type that, I typed out the first few characters, hit Tab, and it did the completion for that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and run that. Yes, we want to continue to install the new stuff. And so here we're just going to go with the default action. Okay, so now that we have this, we're almost there. Okay, we have Kali updated to the latest. Now I'll just do clear to I'm going to do clear to clear my screen here. And so now what we need to do is install something called the guest additions. Okay, so a little bit of vocabulary. Within VirtualBox, the host operating system is the operating system that VirtualBox is running on. The guest operating system is the operating system that is running within VirtualBox. So in my case, on this machine here, I'm running Windows 10 as the host, and then of course we're running Kali as the guest. So VirtualBox has something called guest additions that kind of helps everything play a little bit nicer, and generally you want to install that. The issue is that to install that, it actually requires what are referred to as the Linux headers to be installed. Okay, so to do that, again, here we have our information in Canvas. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, check the show notes below. We're going to do this apt-get install of the Linux headers. Okay, so let me see. I might be able to actually copy this and hopefully just paste that in here. Nope. Let's see. Okay, so apt-get install Linux. Let's see, what was it? Dash headers dash. Okay, good. Headers dash. Okay, and then this little bit here is a little bit of shell scripting types of stuff, where what we're going to say is we're actually going to run this other command, uname-r, inside there. Uname-r, so that we get the correct version of the Linux headers. Okay, so doing that, and the -y basically just says that that we're going to go ahead and have a yes default answer for all of this. Okay, so it goes through. It says it's doing the install of the headers, and this shouldn't actually take too terribly long. You can see it's just about done. All right, now that we have the headers, we can install the guest editions. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to Devices, and we're going to go to Insert Guest Editions CD Image. All right, so I do that. Generally, kind of wait a second or so. Yeah, you'll usually get this option. I'm just going to go ahead and click cancel because it's not going to run on its own anyways. But that should now give us the ability to run the software. Okay, so the disk that was just installed should be at this location /mnt /cd all right, cdrom. Yeah. Oh no, sorry. /media. That's it. /media /cdrom. Okay, so we go there, and sure enough, I can take a look. We see there's all the various things. What we're going to do is I'm going to use the sh command, and then what I'm going to run is VBoxLinuxAdditions.run. Okay, so we're going to run that install. And this generally doesn't take a lot of time. It's fairly quick, so I'll leave the video kind of running for this. Okay, so now the guest editions should in fact be installed. All right, so we're going to do one more thing. So here I'm just going to I'm going to exit out of the shell. Okay, and then I'm going to go back up to, I just got to scroll my window here. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to here, and I'm going to shut down Kali Linux for right now. You will see we have that. We're going to fix that in a minute, but before we do that, let's do a couple of other things. Okay, so I'm going to just power off the machine here. And yeah, good. Now the machine's powered off. All right. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a shared folder. Okay, so you can see I have actually I have this little folder here on my desktop that I've created, and basically it's just a place where I can then exchange files between Kali running in VirtualBox and my host operating system. Okay, so to set that up, what we're going to do is we're just going to go to Settings. And from Settings, we're just going to come down to Shared Folders. And so here, what I'm going to do is just click on the Add New Shared Folder, and then we can navigate to wherever our particular shared folder is. So as I said, I want to use this Kali share folder here, and I'm going to put it on. I'm going to set it for auto mount. Okay, so then whenever we boot into Kali, we automatically have access to that. Okay, so we do that, and I'll click OK. Now I'm going to go back and start my Kali machine one more time. Okay, and yeah, we just go with the that first option there. You will notice I didn't actually quite see the options there, but in fact, as I was typing, it was actually entering it in correctly. So yeah, sometimes you will have that little bug in there. All right, so notice there is here is my my file share right now. The folder is in fact empty. Oops, sorry, don't want to do that. Right, so now that that folder is in fact there. I do still have my VBox Additions and might want to actually get rid of that. Okay, so what I can do, what I am going to do is I'm just going to come down to here, and I'm going to again power off my machine. And then I'm just going to go to Settings here, go to Storage, and there's where we see VirtualBox Guest Edition, so I'm going to remove that. But I do still want an empty CD in there just in case, so I'll leave that as empty like so. Okay, so now that I have kind of a basic setup for the machine, what I'm going to do is the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to snapshots, and I'm going to create a snapshot for my machine. Basically, it kind of keeps a snapshot of the disk image. That way, you know, if there's any if I do other things that kind of start to mess up my my Kali setup, I can always go back to those previous settings, right? So I'm just going to do that. Okay, so I'll say initial install upgraded and guest additions, and of course you can add other descriptions and so forth. All right, so there that is, and now basically we should be ready to go and ready to run Kali and so forth. Okay, so good luck with that. If you have questions, certainly submit them through the class Piazza, and we'll continue on.